In the quiet expanse of the night, a profound vision descended upon Abram. A divine presence, unseen yet undeniably potent, manifested before him. A voice, ancient and resonant, pierced the silence, dispelling the shadows of his apprehension. "Fear not, Abram," it declared, a command and a comfort intertwined. The words carried the weight of eternity, promising protection and boundless provision. The voice continued, revealing its nature as Abram's shield, an impenetrable bulwark against all earthly perils. It spoke of a reward, not merely great, but very great, hinting at a destiny far beyond human comprehension. Yet, a deep disquiet stirred within Abram's heart, a silent lament that even divine favor could not fully assuage. He felt the gnawing emptiness of unfulfilled promise, a void where the laughter of children should have been. His concern was profound, for what meaning could such magnificent gifts hold without an heir to receive them? The vastness of God's blessing seemed diminished by his childless state. Abram voiced his apprehension, believing that Eliezer, his trusted steward from Damascus, would inherit all he possessed. This loyal servant, though cherished, was not of his own blood. "O Lord God," Abram questioned, his voice tinged with sorrow, "what will you give me, since I am childless?" He expressed the stark reality of his situation, stating plainly that he had no offspring. The divine response was immediate, a direct contradiction to Abram's human assumptions. The voice affirmed with absolute certainty that the servant would not be your heir. Instead, a new, astonishing declaration was made. "Your own issue shall be your heir," the voice proclaimed, shattering Abram's preconceived notions of his future. To solidify this incredible promise, God led Abram outside, beneath the vast, inky canopy of the desert sky. The air was cool, the silence profound, broken only by the whisper of the wind. "Look now toward heaven," the divine voice instructed, "and count the stars if you are able to number them." The countless pinpricks of light glittered with an ethereal glow. Then came the breathtaking promise, echoing the celestial multitude. "Just so shall your descendants be." The sheer impossibility of such a multitude stretched the limits of human understanding. In that moment, confronted with the infinite, Abram put his faith in the Lord. It was an act of profound trust, a surrender to the incomprehensible power and faithfulness of God. This unwavering belief, this radical acceptance of the divine word, was not overlooked. God credited it to him as an act of righteousness, a declaration of profound spiritual standing. The divine voice then reiterated another foundational promise, one that had guided Abram's journey from its very beginning. "I am the Lord who brought you from Ur of the Chaldeans," it declared, recalling his distant past. This remembrance was not merely historical, it served a specific unfolding purpose. The divine intention was to give you this land as a possession, a tangible inheritance for his future lineage. Despite the recent affirmation of his descendants, Abram sought further assurance regarding this vast territorial promise. A deep human need for certainty prompted his question. "How am I to know that I shall possess it?" he asked, seeking a sign, a tangible confirmation of this monumental claim. The weight of such a promise demanded a visible seal. In response, God issued precise instructions for a solemn covenant ceremony, an ancient ritual of profound significance. Abram was commanded to bring specific animals for this sacred rite. He was to gather a 3-year-old heifer, robust and mature. Alongside it, a 3-year-old she-goat was required, symbolizing fertility and provision. A 3-year-old ram completed the trio of larger animals, representing strength and sacrifice. Additionally, 2 birds were specified, a turtle dove and a young pigeon. Abram meticulously followed the divine command. He took the larger animals and split each one precisely down the middle, creating 2 distinct halves. He then carefully placed each half opposite its corresponding piece, forming a solemn pathway. The birds, however, were not divided, remaining whole. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the landscape, Abram remained vigilant. He guarded the prepared carcasses, driving away the birds of prey that descended, seeking to defile the sacred offering. As the sun finally dipped below the horizon, a profound change swept over Abram. A deep trance and otherworldly slumber fell upon him, binding his senses. He was enveloped by an oppressive darkness, a deep, terrifying darkness that pressed in from all sides. It was a prelude to revelations both wondrous and unsettling. Within this profound state, a prophecy unfolded, detailing the future of his yet unborn descendants. They shall be aliens in a land not their own, the voice foretold, a stark vision of displacement. For 400 years they would endure hardship, enslaved and oppressed by a foreign power. This period of suffering was a decreed part of their destiny. Yet, the divine justice would prevail. God promised to bring judgment upon the nation that oppressed them, a powerful retribution for their suffering. After this period of tribulation, they would depart from their captivity, not empty-handed, but with great wealth. Their exodus would be a testament to divine intervention. They would return to this promised land in the 4th time span, or generation, a specific timeline for their eventual restoration. The divine plan was meticulously laid out. The reason for this prolonged delay, this period of suffering, was also revealed. The wickedness of the Amorites will not have reached its full measure, indicating a divine patience before judgment. Amidst these weighty prophecies concerning his lineage, Abram also received a personal assurance regarding his own end. He shall join your forefathers in peace, a promise of a tranquil passing. He would be buried at a contented old age, having lived a full life, witnessing the initial unfolding of God's magnificent plan. His personal journey would conclude in serenity. As the last vestiges of sunlight vanished, plunging the world into complete darkness, the covenant ceremony reached its awe-inspiring climax. The air grew heavy with anticipation. Then, in the profound darkness, a mysterious manifestation appeared. A smoking brazier emerged, its glowing embers casting an eerie light, symbolizing a divine presence. Following it, a flaming torch materialized, burning with an intense, otherworldly fire. These 2 enigmatic forms moved with deliberate purpose. Both the smoking brazier and the flaming torch passed slowly between the divided pieces of the animals. This solemn procession sealed the covenant, a divine oath made visible. On that very day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram, a sacred pact binding heaven and earth. The terms of this eternal agreement were now irrevocably established. The divine promise extended to the vast geographical boundaries of the Promised Land. It stretched from the Wadi of Egypt, marking its southern extremity. Its northern reach extended to the great river, the River Euphrates, encompassing a vast and fertile territory. This was the inheritance for Abram's descendants. Within these expansive borders resided numerous tribes, each now implicitly marked by this divine decree. The Kenites, Kenizzites, and Cadmonites were named. The Hittites, Perizzites, and the enigmatic Rephaim were also included in this sweeping territorial claim. Their lands would one day belong to Abram's seed. Finally, the Amorites, Canaanites, Girgashites, and Jebusites completed the list of peoples whose territories would form the inheritance of the chosen lineage. The mystery of God's plan for the ages had begun to unfold.